Putazos y Pendejadas Podcast.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Putazos y Pendejadas. I am Mark Salinas, and we got David De Leon in Manhattan.
What's going on, Mark?
Hey, man, we're just here, two Tejanos, giving our boxing point of view. We're giving a recap on this weekend's boxing matches. What do we got, Dave?
Well, first of all, our boy had a rough weekend. Speaking of Regis Prograis, Danielito Zorrilla gave him probably the ugliest fight in a long time, man. I haven't seen a fight this bad in a while. It's pretty disappointed in just both fighters, really. I thought absolutely from the jump, must say Zorrilla did not come to fight. He came to survive and to get lucky with a one shot. And the one shot he was looking for all night, Mark, was that right hand. And he kept it right here, and he was timing Regis. As you can see, basically, if we just put this little 10 seconds on loop, that's the whole fight.
Yeah, he pretty much went in there to survive, get a paycheck, and I think he just...
And get lucky.
Yeah,
because he was looking for one shot all night.
He got it early.
And he got it early. As you see it right there. He did pop. The referee did not call that a knockdown.
It was an awkward knockdown. He's an awkward fighter, so it was an awkward looking knockdown, but he got buzzed.
Well, he put his weight into the shot, right? And his momentum ran right into Regis. So Regis, of course, as he's going down, grabs him. So it looks like they stumble over each other.
Yeah.
When you go back and you look at the replay,
he hit him solid. He hit
him solid.
He wasn't even good in the second round. It looked like they both took the round off, but it was really just Regis taking the round off because the other guy wasn't there to fight at all.
You can kind of see too, Mark, and below, Regis is throwing punches from far away, man. He's like 8 feet away.
Yeah.
And he's throwing jabs and he's far away, but you can see again right
That's
there.
Right, that knockdown.
He got an actual knockdown. It was an overhand left. He's definitely reaching for that shot, but he caught Zorrilla right on the temple, and Zorrilla was already in bad position. He was already leaning back, and he wasn't under his feet. So when he got hit, the momentum pushed him back, and he almost did like a half flip over.
He almost did, he almost did. That was a very, very powerful punch, but
it just landed like right here. It wasn't really that strong. It was more about Zorrilla being out of position and getting caught. It was a good solid punch, but it wasn't. Look, you can see it right there. It just almost a glancing blow.
Yeah, and he was also moving.
He just hits so hard that he pushes you back.
Yeah, he hit hard.
Yeah. So Zorrilla wasn't really hurt at any point in the fight. Regis didn't look hurt either, but he was very cautious of that right hand from Zorrilla, who has some pop, no doubt about it. But I gotta be honest with you, bro. I don't ever want to see this guy fight again, man. You have a chance to win a world title, and this is how you perform.
And you're on a big stage. You're on the zone. Everybody's watching. I mean, you would think that a boxer would want to give everything he's got, but he pretty much just tried to survive. After that third round, he avoided him at all costs. Really good on his bike. Really, really good on his bike. Regis
I wouldn't even say good, man. I wouldn't even say good.
Are you saying that Regis maybe couldn't trap him? Regis can't trap him?
I think he couldn't trap him. Well, okay. I think he avoided being in range to avoid Regis, but in doing so, he avoided being in range for his own offense.
Well, yeah, he didn't want to give it.
So when you're doing that, man, you're not fighting. I've heard people online say, "Oh, people call that running. It's not running. It's boxing." I beg to differ.
No, this guy was not boxing.
Huh?
I mean, this guy wasn't boxing at all. He was running.
That was not boxing, man. When you're boxing and you want to still establish distance, you establish distance, right? Being within range to be able to land your offense, but then getting out of range so the other fighter can't land theirs. This guy was only doing it halfway. He was trying to be out of range to be away from Regis's, but he was staying out of range. He couldn't even land his own shots.
Yeah,
so,
he gave it all.
That's not boxing, man. That's running. That's avoiding a fight. Never want to see this dude again. He's going to have about 3 or 4 good performances before I even consider flipping the channel to watch him fight.
Hey, promoters probably won't even want him to fight. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in a while. I mean, he really showed that he just wanted to check there. He just didn't want to risk anything. I mean, the promoter was mad. His rival was mad. Regis was pissed off. Regis tried to explain it because he looked bad. Because Regis looked bad, and it looks like he just went in there just to make him look bad, and try to maybe steal a fight with one big punch, like you said. Yeah, but he did do a good job of making Regis look bad, because Regis did look bad, but I don't know if it was all his fault.
Yeah, I don't think so, but definitely Regis showed some weaknesses in being able to cut off the ring. He did not do a good job of closing the distance or trapping Zorilla when he needed to. And to be honest, there's a little blueprint here. I don't know how much to make of this, because I've seen Regis, and I think we've seen him cut off the ring successfully against fighters, but no one has really tried to move on him in this manner.
Yeah.
And one of his potential opponents after this fight is Devin Haney. And I guarantee you, Devin Haney's watching this. He's like, hey, I see something I can exploit.
Yeah.
So Devin Haney will be able to utilize some of that distance, staying away and lateral movement. But I guarantee you, Haney's going to come in and at least throw more punches than this guy did.
Yeah, man. One thing I do, the one thing I don't like about Regis, his corner, I don't like the way they handle it. He's got a cut man, a trainer, and a co-trainer or a co-head, whatever.
Yeah, 3 guys, right? Talking to him.
But they're all telling him what to do. And he listens to one dude. He's like, I got you. Then this guy tells him something else. I got you. And then this guy tells him something. I got you. You got 3 dudes telling you 3 different strategies. You just got to have one dude telling you what to do, and the other guys focus on cuts and whatever they're focused on. I mean, that was
or have them rotate, right? Like rotate around. No, but there should definitely be one voice. I agree with you on that one, my man. There was a couple of times where there was one guy. He wasn't always the third man, but he did sneak in a couple of times, and he was telling Regis, you got to focus on cutting off the ring. You're letting this guy move wherever he wants. I thought that dude was on the right track. Everything else that they were telling him mattered not, unless Regis is able to cut off the ring. Yeah, so that should have been the main focus early. As soon as they saw that he was struggling with that, they should have made a big focus. Regis, you gotta cut this guy down. As soon as his back touched the ropes, that's an opportunity to jump on him. See, like right there, the guy jumped. His back touched the ropes. You gotta press him, because he's got limited room to be able to move around, right? So
nobody ever told him to cut the ring except for that third person.
That one dude, right?
I think he was just a cut guy or something.
Yeah, he was. No, he wasn't even the cut guy, because there was one guy who's putting grease and stuff on Regis. But he was just a normal. He was just some normal dude. I got to find out who he was, man. But that guy had the right idea, but I didn't hear him talk too much.
Yeah.
One other thing, Mark. This is the second time Regis has fought in New Orleans, and the first time was right before he got into the World Boxing Super Series, where he fought Josh Taylor for the Ultimate title, the Muhammad Ali Trophy. And he had a similar performance in New Orleans. He does not fight well at home. As much as he was very happy and looking forward to this fight in his hometown, he does not fight well there. So I recommend they never put him in New Orleans again, unless it's against an opponent that's tailor-made for him, so he can put on a show for his fans. I know that Zorilla wasn't their first pick. He was a late replacement. It was hard to find a good replacement that people will come out to see Regis against. That said, though, this guy was not the ticket for a homecoming event, and I just would be wary of putting Regis in New Orleans, period, because he had the same kind of performance before.
Yeah, New Orleans is not a big boxing town. I mean, there's big boxing markets. You got Texas, you've got Nevada, California, New
Regis
York,
lives in
Philly.
Texas, bro.
Yeah, just fight in
He lives
Texas.
near Houston.
Yeah. New Orleans likes
Houston's a great
basketball,
fight town.
football. That's it.
Houston's a great fight town, man. I
Great fight
guarantee
town.
you, Regis would be able to pull in a good crowd at a Houston fight.
Yeah. They consider him a hometown guy there as well. I mean, he's been there for half his life. So
Right, exactly.
Right.
So our boy didn't do too good, but he still retains the title. Who do you think he has on the horizon as far as the next fight?
Man, I really think it. I think it's going to be Haney. I think it's going to be Haney because they both just finished a couple of fights where they didn't really get too much damage. Well, Haney was in a battle, but they finished fights around the same time, so they're probably fighting around the same time. Yeah, both of them seem to be ready, and I think they both ended around 3-4 weeks from each other, so they're pretty much always
aligned, right?
They're aligned to fight. Rolly has a mandatory, so he's got to go do something there. Rolly can't face any, I believe, and they're holding it to him, and he's going to take it. I don't know what Ryan's going to do. It looks like I wouldn't even mind him fighting Broner, man. Just get a big name and knock him out. I wouldn't mind it. Broner just fought this weekend too.
That's a train wreck, man. Broner did send out a tweet congratulating Regis for his gift.
Yeah.
Apparently, there are some people who feel like Zorilla pulled off that fight. It was one of those fights, though, where it's hard to judge some of those rounds.
Yeah, you can't. If Zorilla didn't want to fight, you can't judge.
Yeah, that's where I come back to it, man. I'm like,
I know
Regis didn't land a lot of punches
for lack of trying,
Yeah, exactly. And I could say that Zorilla didn't really try.
He didn't try. So he doesn't win. And the judges saw it the same way. So
yeah, and it was still a split decision.
Yeah, look, we had some good action in the beginning, but it was a snooze fest after. We had good action in the first. We got a little surprised, and then third round was good, and then after that,
snooze.
Yeah.
That wasn't the only fight of the night. We also had our boy, the Thunder from Down Under. Well, no, that was his dad, actually.
Yeah.
The son of Kostya Tszyu, Tim Tszyu, was in action. Did you get a chance to check that out, Mark?
You know what? Yeah, that's the very first time I've actually seen Tim Tszyu live. I've seen, a fight of his or 2 or 3 or 4, but after the fact, I've never actually sat down and seen one while it goes on. Me and you were texting that night, so that was the first time that I've seen him in action. And man, this guy came out and made a statement. He blew that kid out of the water really quick. And that brings in not just the normal fan like me and you, but knockouts like that bring in like the occasional fan, the here and there, the fair weather fan. But so
it catches everyone's attention.
He caught everybody's attention, and the next fight is going to be huge just because of that put out. But he's known as a big fighter.
Can we offer a disclaimer here for those who may not be familiar with Ocampo? Ocampo is your fringe gatekeeping contender type fighter, okay?
Yeah.
He only has 2 losses on his record. One of them was to Earl Spence, and Earl, like Tszyu, stopped him in the first round. I think Tszyu did it a little bit quicker, but let's not get it twisted, folks. Ocampo is not on the level of a world.
No, he's a bridge fighter. He's a bridge fighter.
Yes, absolutely. And so Tszyu did what he should have done against this guy, but it's the manner in which he did it.
Yeah.
He came out really aggressive. He was not only he looks like his dad, but in that ring, he looked like his dad. He had very much that fiery approach that Kostya Tszyu used to have. And when Kostya Tszyu sniffed an opponent that was not on his level, he made sure to take that guy out as soon as he could.
Yeah, man, he got real impressive. He really knocked that guy out really fast. Yeah, he was supposed to do that, but it was the manner that he did it. I mean, he slayed that guy. People saw it. It's been all over YouTube. It's been all over Twitter. So, everybody's sharing it and looking. I mean, it looked like he almost lifted the guy.
Yeah,
From certain angles when he looked like he lifted the dude off his feet. You're like, shh. So yeah, that brought a lot of eyes. What do you think about him? And looks like it's gonna be him and Charlo.
So I think this fight with Charlo was supposed to happen in January, but Jermell, the 154-pound undisputed champ at 154, got hurt, so they had to postpone it. I think in a way that was good for Tim Tszyu, because I didn't feel like he was ready for Charlo. Tszyu has fought 2 times since. He had a fight against Harrison.
Oh yeah,
Tony Harrison, and he bludgeoned that guy. He got in some good rounds with him. Of course, Harrison had not been in the ring for a while, but still is an accomplished professional and former world champ. And Tszyu handled business against him. Then Tszyu comes back and looks very impressive in this fight, albeit against a French contender. I think Tszyu is just getting better and better as time goes along, whereas Jermell, he's kind of in a weird predicament, man. Like, he's had to take time off for an injury, but, that time off, man, you're getting rusty. You're not working on your fundamentals. I'm sure he's trying to train and whatnot, but he can't, he's very limited in what he can do. I think it's his hand, right? He broke it. He has a broken hand or something like that.
Yeah, he had a broken hand, but at that level,
Who knows, man? Yeah. It's under these whatever circumstances going on. The man's not fighting. He's not active, and this guy is being active, and he's getting better while he's doing it. It's starting to look like a very more. It is to me now a much more interesting fight.
It's a very interesting fight, man. I don't even know which way I would go. I mean, Tszyu is thunder out there, but Charlo.
Yeah, Tzew's looking good. I'm still Jermell, bro. I still think Jermell is a level above Tszyu.
Yeah, of course.
But Tzew's showing real power, right? And his right hand is looking like he inherited it from his pops.
It seems like Jermell has been fighting for years, though. I mean, how old is he now? 31? They turned pro right after high school, right?
Yeah, they were really young.
They were really young when they turned pro, and he's been, that guy's one guy that has ascended like no other. He just ascends. He hasn't digressed at all. He keeps getting better, keeps getting better. And at 31, and he hasn't lost it. Yeah, I think he might be too much for Tszyu, but with the power that Tszyu has, man, and the pedigree, man, it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking more.
But I mean, I'm definitely pulling for the Texas guy. You know me. You know how I do it.
Hometown.
Yes, I'm going Texas. So, but it's, man, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one for Jermell. Hopefully, he pulls it off.
Yeah, we'll see. But in the end, what I hope for is a good fight.
Who are you a fan of more, Tszyu? Because I know you like his dad. Tszyu,
I like that a lot.
Or Jermell. As a fan, I'm not asking you to call it. As a fan.
No, as a fan, Jermell. I mean, I've been a big fan of Jermell for a long time. He was always on the quest to unify and be undisputed at 154. And I admire any fighter that's going out there trying to collect all the belts so they could be considered, not just call themselves the best, but prove that they're the best.
Yeah,
Jermell did that, man. He did that. Yeah. That earns a lot of respect from me. I actually got a chance to briefly meet the Charlos at a fight. They're really cool dudes, man. They'll take pictures with you. They'll chop it up with you for a little bit. I'm big fans with those guys, but I like Jermell's attitude. I want to fight the best to prove that I am the best.
Yeah. Jermell definitely has a mean streak too. Well, they're both mean.
They're both mean, man. They're both mean.
Man. Those guys are fighting after the fights, throwing chairs in the crowd. I mean, jumping Gervonta Davis. Remember that? Jumping.
Yeah. They've always got some kind of drama going on.
Yeah,
right?
Something's going on. They're gonna fight somebody. Remember, they got their jewelry stolen in the 3030 Club or some shit like that. New York.
That was in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the 4040 Club, Jay-Z's club or something.
Yeah. Either way, though, I think Charlo is going to be huge. I'd be interested to see where they try to push this fight and if Charlo would be willing to go to Australia. Because, man, that's going to be a stadium fight down there.
Yeah.
You imagine what George Kambosos did with Haney, the first fight? They're going to do something like that, maybe even bigger than that.
It'll be in probably like their biggest stadium. I think it's in Sydney or something.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, it'll be over there for sure. If he wants to make any money, it should be over there or in Houston. But I think it'll make more money in Australia.
It would do big numbers in Houston. That's a good point. And I think even Tim Tszyu said in the post-fight comments right after the knockout, he said, "I'm going to America to get Charlo's name on my resume."
Oh, wow.
So I think Tszyu's already willing to come over here and do it.
Houston would be good, even Vegas. But, man, Australia wouldn't be bad, and it would make a lot of money. And if they threw it around the same time they did this fight, it was kind of late. But
it was fine, right? I mean,
it was fine. It was 11:30 here. In California, it's still 9:30. New York time was what, 12:30? 12?
It started around 11:30, and then there was one fight. I think if they start the undercard a little bit earlier,
kind of like maybe
and then that main event at 11:30, that would be
it's possible. Yeah, it's doable.
That would be the sweet spot.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the time frame that I saw. I mean, it was kind of late, but I'm sure for a fight like that, they'll adjust it. Well, that was our boxing recap for this week. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Putazos y pendejadas. Keep looking for us out there. Remember, like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Putazos y pendejadas.